words! Get the final cut!
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere, friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow.
Hello, my name is Bob Trufant, and welcome to Reading Rainbow. I'm sorry, this is actually South Africa for beginners. Let's start with the basics. Here we see a map of Africa. You can see South Africa, Rwanda, Nigeria, Angola, Liberia, Switzerland. That's not Switzerland. Ghana. This is a South African flag. Look at the stripes. So majestic. Also, one of the decisions it's up. Let's talk about apartheid in South Africa. That was the policy of discrimination and segregation based on race. During the age of imperialism, when European nations were taking control, 50% were white, but they owned over 50% of the land. The whites were refusing to give any power to the blacks, but the British sided with the blacks. And then a guy named Ian Smith led Then a guy named Ian Smith led the conservative white South Africans to declare independence for Britain in 1965. And they kept apartheid still in play. Now that South Africa was independent, there was more restrictions on blacks. Blacks now needed permission to travel and needed a passport to travel. All these blacks were assigned homelands based simply on their ethnic groups. And they lived in often arid, bad areas while the whites lived in very wealthy cities. There were still no interracial marriages. Blacks were only allowed in certain restaurants and schools. And they were paid much less for the same jobs as whites, thus forcing them into poverty. Now, apartheid went on until there was a young man named Nelson. He was a young lawyer, and he helped organize the African National Congress, which was civil disobedience against apartheid laws. Of course, he was arrested and tried and condemned to a life in prison for these crimes, where he served 27 years, he served 27 years, but he was still a figurehead even in prison. Who was that? Was that you? Was that you? South Africa's policies were internationally rebuked, and sanctions were placed on South Africa which hindered their economy. Due to these pressures, South Africa was forced to end apartheid and other repressive laws. In 1990, Mandela was freed. Are you recording me? Get over here. Get over. Give me your phone. Give me your phone. Give me your phone. No one's seeing these.
Got it.
I think he sees us.
Nope. He is like anything.
Oh, he definitely sees us.
He's been identified.
Yeah. Voiceover for him? No. You're doing the voiceover.
So this one time I was playing.
是拉屎，拉屎完了我就睡着了，一睡着完了就起来吧，一起来我就很尿碎，尿完了我就上学，上学完了回家，又去上中店买点菜，买菜完了我就说你是笨蛋，你是这么大的笨蛋，你呀是个真的笨蛋。还有呢，而且有几个人啊，真的不好人。
You want me to start talking? There are multiple types of governments in Africa. South African, there's a constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, a legislation with 3 branches, And many African countries actually model their future governments off of this one because it's been so successful. Swaziland has an absolute monarchy and holds all authority in this monarchy. Ghana has a very similar system to the United States of America in that it has elected leaders that act as the heads of states and other governments. Economy-wise, Africa is not as strong as other nations. Many countries have become trade partners with Africa, such as Germany, Japan, and Spain. I think we need to finish that banana. The problem is they can't produce enough food to keep up with their population, and similarly they don't have enough jobs to keep up with their population.
I can't do it, dude. These things are so nasty.
I bought the damn soda. Drink, eat the damn banana.
Hold on! Aren't you frozen bananas? That's my question.
Go.
Africa has many exports, including petroleum, lumber, gold, and diamonds, and precious metal. There's problems with blood diamonds in Africa and has been a problem for quite some time. It imports, obviously, food, has chemicals and medicine, as well as scientific instruments, specifically economy-wise. South Africa is the most stable country in Africa and the wealthiest country in Africa. Some major industries in South Africa are mining, retail and sale, and manufacturing. It has 11,375 GDP per capita, the highest in Africa. Nigeria has a lower one of 2,500 GDP per capita. And Angola, 6,500 GDP per capita. And Liberia, 670 per capita, which is extremely, extremely low.
Oh my god, my stomach feels like it's gonna explode.
Yo, you didn't drink a liter yet.
You gotta drink a full liter, Peter. Holy crap, dude.
Hey, how do you feel?
Yeah, it looks like you need some more Sprite.
I feel so. Oh god.
Yeah.
No, hold on. No, hold on.
Okay.
Oh, alright, that made me feel a lot better. No, I'm done. Can you get something like actually like I can drink?
Desmond Tutu. He was born in a black middle-class family in the very segregated country of South Africa. Even as a child, he was very optimistic, and rumors say this comes from after he saw a white priest tip his hat to a black woman, and he had the epiphany of to solve segregation, he would need to use religion. He graduated from a very underfunded black high school, and he wanted to be a doctor. But he couldn't afford med school, so he wanted to become a teacher instead. But eventually, he stopped teaching because he refused to go on with the horrible segregation that was going on in public education. Because black schools were getting about 1/10 of the funding as white schools. Bill.
Became a priest and gained international prominence by filing several high-ranking religious positions in both South Africa and England. In 1984, Desmond Tutu received the Nobel Peace Prize. Let's go over here. For heading South African Council of Churches. In 1993, South African apartheid ended. In 1994, Nelson Mandela was the first black president. They introduced a new president, which fell to Tutu, which was an honor he gladly accepted.
Ready?
There's almost like my feet. So, Pan-Africanism was a social, political, philosophical movement which seeks to unify Native Americans and those of African descent.
Native Americans?
Movement which seeks to unify Native Africans and those of African descent. It was based on the belief that unity is vital to support their economic, philosophical, social, and political growth. A couple advocates, Kwame Nkrumah, he oversaw Ghana's independence from British rule. He also won the Lenin Prize in 1963. Another advocate was Muammar Gaddafi. He was the political leader of Libya. Originally, Pan-Africanism was accredited to Henry Sylvester Williams. This was referring to the unity of continental Africa. This led to the creation of the Pan-African Congress, which dealt with the oppression of Africans under apartheid control.
Are we nearly done with this? Did somebody call the wambulance?
This, ladies and gentlemen, was where we say goodbye. I am Bob Trufant, and thank you for watching this educational video.
And we're clear. All right.
Good job,
Good work, everybody.
You're gonna have to
Where's
get
the piece-
close.